Hey guys, welcome back to Heiko Shaves. Today is time for another shave with another brand new razor. Brand new to me, not brand new to the market. I've seen a few reviews about it already out there, so definitely not new to the market, but I thought it was pretty interesting, so I picked it up from Amazon. But before we get to what model of razor that is, let me talk about a brand. So today's shave is going to be all Wilkinson Sword branded, or mostly at least. Wilkinson Sword, I just looked up their history a little bit, did a little bit of history buff, went onto their webpage and just read up a little bit. So originally founded in 1772 by Henry Knock in London, under a different name, probably Henry Knock Weapon Manufacturing or something like this. So they made weapons, and then in 1824 the company was taken over by Henry Wilkinson and his son, and they named it Wilkinson and Son, and they actually started making swords. Wilkinson Sword, right? So that was, he also maintained business relationship with the British royal family. So they made swords back in 1824. Then in 1889, they turned it into an LTD, just a form of company. And then in 1898, supposedly, they put out their first safety shaver with hollow ground blades. The Wilkinson. Very cool. Then in 1930, we remember last year sometime, Arthur Gatzke, he sent me a bunch of shaving equipment, including this little puppy here, which is the Fazan. It's a slant razor made out of Bakelite. We talked about what Bakelite is. Bakelite is not a high-tech plastic. It was actually the first industrially produced plastic, Bakelite. And invented by a Belgian guy working in New York. So he came up with Bakelite, and his last name was Bakeland. So that's why Bakelite. Anyways, Fazan, made by Oberghaus, was a cheap, inexpensive razor. And and you might wonder, why has that anything to do with Wilkinson? Because it was produced by Oberghaus. They actually merged Oberghaus with Wilkinson in 1955 or 1956, turned it into one Wilkinson Sword GmbH, which is Limited Liability Corporation in German, in Solingen in Germany in 1961. So Wilkinson, originally a British company, and Oberghaus, originally a German company, they merged, and I guess now their headquarters is in Solingen, Germany. And Solingen is a town in Germany, in a region where tool making and knife making is very popular. Lots of knife brands and cutlery brands and tool brands are located there. I guess they had access to good steel and craftsmanship, and so Solingen, everyone worldwide knows that good knives come from Solingen, or at least supposed to. Yeah. Anyway, so Oberghaus, Fazan, razor, and Wilkinson became the same thing. And then Wilkinson Sword, they focused on razor making, so they are not really making swords anymore. And they had their own line of Dura-Sharp blades in 1962, and then they came out with a jetzt sanfter und schonender als alles, was sie bisher von uns kannten, is a single-edge razor called a T70 back in 1962. Then 1988 they tried to what's that here? Launch of the compact, a double-edge system shaver with double magazine in the handle. Okay, so that was in 1988. In 1992, they came out with a Wilkinson Sword Protector, which is a system razor handle and a click-on blades. Pretty simple. 2003, they came out with a Quadro, Wilkinson Sword Quadro, another system razor. And it just continues on, one system razor after another. The Quadro, and then eventually the Hydro 3 and 5. I sprinkle on some pictures here for you guys. And then 2024, what is left of Wilkinson Sword these days besides system razors? They still sell this puppy here. It's really inexpensive. It's about a $10 double-edged safety razor, which, as you can tell, it's in the package. I've not tried it yet. It's actually kind of a shame because it comes with original Wilkinson Sword blades. And where is this made? Yeah, it's distributed by Wilkinson Sword GmbH in Solingen, but where is it made? And unfortunately, they put a big old sticker on here. I'm not sure if I can maybe peel it off for you guys. Maybe it says made in under there. I'm gonna probably rip it to shreds. If we would open this, we could probably see. Hold on, guys. Short intermission. Cutting this open. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. I got my fancy scissors that I got for my birthday in October. It's a Cucina Napoli, made in the United States by Bianco. Very fancy scissors. They have lifetime warranty, and I can send them in to get sharpened for free. And it's an Italian immigrant family that makes very high quality scissors for the people that make clothes and whatnot. And I just wanted a good pair of scissors and not those cheap ones with the plastic handles, and the blades are always really dull and all that. So I can appreciate a craftsman making a tool for one purpose and one purpose only. Doesn't need to be a multifunction anything. And these scissors are really incredibly sharp, and I'm probably completely ruining them right now because I'm cutting plastic off of a Wilkinson sword package. But I really want to know, so now I'm opening it. It doesn't say where it's made. Wilkinson Sword Ltd. Sword House, High Wycombe, Bucks in the United Kingdom. It doesn't say where it's made. Sorry, guys. So this intermission was all for nothing. So I can't tell you. This is a pretty inexpensive plastic / metal 3-piece razor, which we're not going to be using today. I just wanted to show you what's still available out there from Wilkinson Sword besides system razors. Then they still make a twist to open. A little dusty. Was in my drawer here. Wilkinson Sword, relatively cheaply made. It's really nothing, to write home about. I think they just keep this in production because they have always made razors, and so they still want to be part of the DE market, I guess. They make DE blades, so they better sell a razor where you can put them into. So plastic one, then this metal one. Then we have a few different soap options here. They smell exactly the same, but yeah, both are open. Sorry, here, let me straighten this out. Shaving soap, Wilkinson Sword, and this one is just a black package, but I just gave it the good old sniff. I've used one, but not the other. Shaving soap, same deal, same package. I don't know why I have two. Maybe I was sent one. That's possible that Artur sent me one. It's a pretty strongly scented. It's kind of like perfumey, powdery, and they call that Wilkinson Sword Essential. And this here is Wilkinson Sword Barber Style, but the scent is exactly the same, so they are absolutely not different. Maybe. I'll take that back. This is less. I don't know. I can't really tell the difference. Since I have used the blue one before, I will just stick with that. I'm not going to start the second pug here, and we're just going to lather right in this container. And then one of my very, very first shave brushes, also a Wilkinson Sword. I've been pre-soaking it here because this is a boar brush, if I'm not completely mistaken. And boar, they are really relatively stiff and hard and prickly and all that. And so I wanted to give it the good old try to soak it in before we start shaving. So we have a soap, we have a brush. That's pretty much all we need. We might let's do some Italian pre-shave. Where is prep? Shaking your camera. Sorry. Here's prep, the Italian pre-shave. We're just going to use that today. And then the actual razor that I want to use with you guys is this puppy. I bought this on Amazon. Already forgot what I paid for it. So, I'm not getting all razors for free, unfortunately. But if you guys use my Amazon affiliate links that I usually put down below and you actually use them, then I get a little commission from Amazon, and then I usually use that kind of money for more purchases of shaving gear, like this one here. It's the Wilkinson Sword Quad Blade Razor. Can't read. Wilkinson Sword Quad Blade Razor for men with 5 quad blade razor refills. 29 bucks. Bought it on Amazon a little while ago in November. Haven't gotten around to it yet, but today we're going to try this out. I haven't even had it open yet. So let's open this. And of course, currently don't have a pocket knife on me, so I have to use my fancy scissors here and cut this open. Comes in a box that is, there you go, a little sticker on there. Oh, more tape and all that. Here we go. So a sleeve. So yeah, Wilkinson Sword since 1898. So that's when they started making their first razor. There is 5 refills in here, and made in, we cannot tell. Nope. Made in China. Okay, so it's made in China by a German company. So you can tell that they definitely don't put much pride of ownership in Zoling production and all that. There is a little booklet in here. Barbershop shave. Let's see what's going on in here. Oh, okay. Get started. Firmly grip the short side of the razor head and turn the handle counterclockwise until top cover is separated from the razor. To open the blade dispenser, push the tab in the direction of the arrow, then lift the lid. Carefully grasp blade by the short side, blah blah blah. Do not hold exposed blade edges. Okay. Close the razor firmly. Grip the side of the razor head and turn the handle. All right, let's do that. So here's a blade dispenser. And these are specific blade to that razor. So you can't use a DE blade. And there are 5 refills in here. And here is this contraption. Yeah, looks very interesting. Kind of very cheaply made, really. This whole thing looks like cast with relatively rough surfaces. It's definitely not machined. This is cast and then chrome plated to make it look fancy. So I'm just holding this and turning, and then the top comes off, and as you can see, pretty yeah, not super impressive surfaces for a $30 razor. It's pretty hefty. Here, let's weigh it without a blade real quick. All pieces together, 114.5 grams. Yeah, lots of alignment pins and tabs and whatnot, as you can see. Knurling here. Looks like a machined knurling, but I don't think it is. Maybe it is. Maybe this bottom section here, which twists and turns, is actually a machine part, and then the rest is zinc alloy cast. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So now we need to liberate the blade. So I better put something out of my hand, or else I'm going to drop it all. Here is a little tab that I have to open, and then you lift this up, and then you are supposed to firmly grip the blades by the short end like this, and then you grab your razor and drop it on there. And now you can see, I'll do a little zoomy zoom for you guys, that there are actually 2 blades on top of each other. 2 here and 2 edges there. So this is a 4-edge safety razor. Not a double edge, but a quadro edge or quad edge. And then you take the top piece and put it back on there, and then you're supposed to hold this here. It's all supposed to align really easily. But yeah, very specific blades. You can't put a DE blade in here. So alignment perfect, alignment perfect. So now on each side we have now 2 cutting edges and non-adjustable. Tighten it up, and that's good enough. And as you can see here, just the inside of the box, this is where the razor was sitting, and then there are a bunch more of those. How many are there actually in here? It's not 5 refills, it's 5 total. So the blades that you use the first time, and then 4 refills. That's what I would call it. That's good. Maybe I really like it. I have looked around and tried to find if you can actually buy those blades individually. I haven't had any luck yet, so if you guys know where to get those, let me know. Not that I necessarily plan on buying more, but I would just like to know if there's still stuff out there. I again forgot to zoom for you guys, zoom out, while I'm doing all the prepping stuff. So now we're going to grab our prep. The original since 1860, made in Italy. It's just a cream that apparently can be used for mosquito bites, for sore feet, for pimples, for pre-shave, for sunburned skin, slightly mentholated, which I always appreciate. And it works pretty well as a pre-shave. It's not a soap-based product, it's more like a cream. And it makes your stubbles a little softer and protects your skin for the first pass. So we have about 4 days of growth in my face. I keep doing that for you guys so that you guys can see what worst case scenario shaving would look like if you use a new razor and have lots of hair in your face. Then you know by watching my video how this razor would perform. And as you can see, it's not evenly, like it's not dense everywhere, so I have a couple spots where there isn't that much growing, but my goatee section and down here is definitely, pretty covered. All right, so we have the razor prepped, we have prep in our face. I have my boar brush here soaking, and now we're just gonna grab this here. Let's make sure we don't drop anything. So I'm just gonna take my brush and squeeze out most of the water, and then we're gonna go right into the soap container, and we're gonna load it up, and then we're gonna eventually, this brush is definitely pretty low quality. Look, the knot doesn't have a shape, it doesn't hold a shape. It's pretty stiff when it's dry. The pre-soak is pretty much a requirement. Yeah, pretty strongly scented for a soap. I wonder how this is gonna perform on my skin. I don't remember the last time I used it or in what scenario that was. So I'm just getting a little bit more water to load up here properly, and then we're gonna go into my face anyways. This is not really a lathering container, but rather a soap container for storage, not for lathering really. But since it's a rock hard, it's literally rock hard, you can't really scoop out of it and then transfer it over to your soap container. So we're just loading up, put the soap aside, dip it into water a little bit, and then start lathering. Oh, now the brush is actually really nice and soft, but still kind of prickly, a little pokey. And the knot really doesn't want to, stay together. And we need more water. I haven't looked at the ingredient list of this soap, but just from the strong scented nature, I am assuming that it's a long ingredient list with lots of chemically sounding names. And from, it's kind of thin. It's not the creamy type of soap. Lathering performance, especially with this brush here, isn't the greatest. But I think we're going to be able to do a shave with it. All right, here we go. Let's call this a day. Just quick look. I don't think there's any tallow in this thing here. If I put the lid back on here. Shaving. No. Glycerin. Yeah. Lots. Yeah, it's a... Alright, I'll put a link down below. You can look up the ingredients yourself. Pretty long list. Here we go. The Wilkinson Sword Quad Blade. 2 blades on each side. Okay? Let's put the packaging on the ground. Here we go. Huh. It actually shaves. And it actually does that relatively mildly. The reason why I wanted to look up the availability of extra refills is I want to know how expensive those blades are. Because I could only find it in conjunction with this handle. So 5 blades or 5 sets of blades for $29 with a handle. It's pretty pricey if you ask me. But it seems to be doing a pretty good job. It goes down the same route as some single-edge safety razors that are trying to imitate or replicate the shaving with a system razor. So if you look at the two blades next to each other, it almost looks like the head of a system razor. They are pretty sharp, I gotta say. So no tugging. It's really slicing through. One big issue I have is you see this huge chunk of metal between the cutting edge and the outside edge of the razor. So when you go sideways under your nose, for example, I can't really get close to my nose. And then because of its bulbous shape, I cannot do the rotating technique under my nose either. So I can't shave under my nose. I can't get there. So that's definitely one downside. Yeah, sharpness is good. Blade feel is, it's not much, but it's there. So you can tell that it's shaving. And the blades are sharp. They're just as sharp as my standard go-to Wilkinson Sword made in Germany blades. Yeah, really no tugging. It's really pretty good. Yeah, only problem I have come across is that I can't shave under my nose really well with the size and the shape of this razor head. But yeah, honestly, this is not bad. Look at it. So from 4 days to, we took about 85% off. So if I do a second path with this, it's definitely going to be a clean shave. But I want to check one more time if there is really no blades available, because usually on Amazon they will always give you, here, combine this with that, and it doesn't give me blades. So quad blades, it shows me the razor but no blades. So yeah, that's a bummer. So if someone would want to try this out, you can't really get any more blades afterwards. Maybe there is a secret hiding spot where you have to look to find those blades. Let's lather up one more time. I think we still have enough soap in the brush here. Oh, this is really thin. Oh my goodness. I guess we will have to lather up one more, or load up one more time. It's a mess. That's why I don't like to do that. I don't like to have soap all over the place. Very thin. But hey, there are guys that like this kind of scentedness. It's very citrusy, but also very powdery and kind of strongly scented. So I usually don't like the soap to be that strongly scented, because then, you get the burning in your eyeballs just from the scent of the soap. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I'm exaggerating a little bit maybe. All right, let's do a across the grain. Yeah, see, now it feels so mild that I cannot even feel the blades engaging, because there isn't much to shave anymore. It's also a pretty bulbous razor head that holds a lot of water. So after you rinse out, you have to shake it a few times really pretty intensely, or else it will hold so much water and then the water runs down your face. Yeah, no problems really, other than water coming out of the razor head, and I'm not able to I can't get closer under my nose, which is a little bit of a bummer. Yeah, we fixed it by pushing my nose out of the way. Yep. Yeah, that's a really good result. That's a very good result for a 2-pass shave with a quad blade Wilkinson sword razor. I don't know if the quad blade Wilkinson is going to make me run out of the house to buy another one, or if I would suddenly find the blade somewhere that I would switch from a DE safety razor to this, because it is really just 2 DE blades stacked on top of each other in a more technical, sophisticated kind of way here. Let me just hold one of those blades close to the camera so you can take a... I'm going to open this up and I hope I'm not going to drop anything, which I usually do. Yeah, let's just take one quick little gander at this. So there are 2 blades stacked on top of each other, one a little narrow, or it's actually 4 pieces that are connected with plastic. So one is a little wider at the bottom, and then the top is a little narrower, as you can see. And yeah, so I can't find those blades. So it's definitely not gonna make me run out the house to get more, because there are so many good options when it comes to double-edged safety razors. I mean, I don't even know where to start. Everything that sits here in some shape or form performs in a way that I like. Even if it's like a super aggressive one like the Müller R41 over here, it's still a really good safety razor. Or you have single-edged options. You know, here we have the Proof razor that we just recently reviewed. That's just a single blade, but you don't have to buy any proprietary blades. You can just use DE blades and snap them in half and they will fit into the Leaves razor, into the Proof razor. So if you're coming from the system razor market and you want to stop buying those expensive refills and you want to go to a little bit more sustainable approach and buy one razor, and then the blades are 10 cents a piece and they're just steel. They can even be recycled in a steel mill and melted again. I mean, there are so many videos that I have already posted about good beginner-friendly razors that don't even break the bank. I mean, I'm just pointing at some timeless razors here. There's some Mercurs, there is Edwin Jagger, and there's some Müller razors, and there's some Hansen back here, and the Rockwells, and I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. So this one here, 30 bucks, is relatively inexpensive, relatively, for a safety razor. Comes with 5 blades already included to do the, you know, quad blade setup here. It shaves pretty well. My result is pretty good. So I'm not complaining about that, but then, you know, availability of those blades are proprietary. You cannot use any other razor blade for this. At least that's what I'm thinking. How about we take that apart and just look. So I dropped out the double edge, the quad blade. And now I'm going to grab a regular, once used Wilkinson sword blade here. And let's see if that doesn't fit. So the alignment pins and the holes in the DE blade here. Oh, can't see nothing, huh? Let's do this. My hand is in the way. Like that. So the pins don't fit through the holes in the DE blade. So you cannot use DE blades for this. So this razor requires the exclusive use of Wilkinson's blades, and that's pretty much what they have always done. Once they started doing system razors, they give you pretty much a free handle with a few blades attached to it, in the hope that, oh, I like it, and you're going to buy more and more refills. And you have to always stick with theirs. You can't use Gillette's refills on a Wilkinson sword handle. That's why they do that. So they can make more and more money with those refills, and to make those refills is not very expensive. Same with Gillette, you know, all those Gillette system razors. DE razors are really not high in a profit margin because the blades are so inexpensive. So if they give you a cheap handle, like Where's the other Wilkinson Sword one? Here, this twist to open. Nothing special, probably made in China. But with these things here, you can use a 7-cent Wilkinson Sword Blade and, you know, and have a good time and have a good shave. Twist shut and start shaving, which you can't with this quad system. You have to buy their proprietary blades and they can charge whatever they want to charge for it. There's no other company that does this. There's no other blade brand that fits in there. So you always have to buy those. And I don't think this is going to go anywhere. There might be some people that like it and they bought it and they have subscribed to it. And maybe now they have found a source for those Wilkinson sword blades. But you don't have any alternatives. And yeah, I'm not a big fan. So definitely not going to run out the house. But I'm still a big fan of Wilkinson Sword regular DE blades. They work in my single-edged razors and they work in all of those. And it's universally accepted format. Nobody messes around with that. Back in the days, there were actually safety razors like the Gibbs from France that used a safety razor blade that looked different. And you can't use a standard normal DE blade in an old vintage Gibbs razor because they made it so. But you can modify those. You can cut a couple notches in there and then use it in a French Gibbs razor. So back in the days, they were trying to patent that whole thing. And razor blades have not always looked like this with all those notches and holes and all that. That has developed over time. Originally, they had only 2 holes in there. And then the next brand came around and added a straight piece and then a horizontal piece and whatnot. And so over time, this blade has turned into this design. So it is compatible with the maximum amount of different razors out there. All right, so let's rinse off. There wasn't much residual slickness at all. The soap is pretty thin, as you saw. It doesn't hold the foam long very well either, and it was really easy to wash off. But I gotta say, it didn't irritate my skin at all. The result is pretty good. And now we're just gonna grab, I didn't have a Wilkinson Sword aftershave, and I looked briefly on Amazon to see if there's actually a Wilkinson Sword branded aftershave out there. I didn't see one. So we're just grabbing Thayer's, the witch hazel water with aloe, non-alcoholic, or no alcohol in it. And we're toning our skin a little bit. And that's pretty much all we need for today. So overall, I guess I appreciate the innovation and that they're trying to do something different and give us DE safety razor guys an alternative. It's always good to have options, but yeah, if they would have come up with some way of putting multiple DE blades on top of each other and create a multi-edge razor experience, like you can do the actual leaf razor, which I don't have. You can put 3 on top of each other, and there are a couple other brands that do that, but they use regular DE blades, or half DE blades I should say. So if they would have done something with an actual DE blade, and then maybe you have to snap another one in half and put it in here with a magnet or whatever, I would be a bigger fan than trying to introduce a completely different blade format. So yes, good shaving result, but no thank you, I would say. All right, that's my opinion. Your mileage may vary and you may really like this, and more power to you. I'm not holding you back, just giving you my opinions here in those videos. And if you liked that and you appreciate my opinion, give me a thumbs up and maybe subscribe to this channel if you want to see more content. Alrighty guys, that's it for today. Take care. Bye.